Hello, Capricorn. My name is Jordan, the Green Moon Healing Spirit, and I'm going to be doing your tarot card reading for the month of September. It's been a very interesting few readings for me. I've been doing all the signs, and I've had an awful lot going on for just about everybody. There's so much going on in the world, in the sky, and all of that. We have some very large playing planets in some very interesting places. Right now, the sun is in Virgo, and it will stay there until a little bit later in the month. And we do have a few other big playing signs. We have Jupiter in Cancer. We have Saturn, which entered Pisces in retrograde on the 1st. And we have Uranus in Gemini. Mars is currently in Libra, and it will be leaving Libra the minute the sun enters Libra at the end of the month. So I expect some very interesting things going on. Just going to be shuffling the cards. I do wonder, of course, Capricorn, all the things going on in the sky. Everybody's just so different. There's no way to really speak to everybody because there's free will. There's all kinds of other things too. Be interesting to see what I get for you. I don't always relate everything going on in the sky, of course. Like I said, there's lots of variances, there's different scenarios, all kinds of interplay going on between the houses, many other things. Just shuffling the cards really quickly. Kind of infuse them with a little bit of energy. Okay. Spirit, what do we have for Capricorn for the month of September? Any messages for them? Anything that they need to know? Okay. All right, Spirit, what do we have for Capricorn? Six of Wands. Queen of Cups. The last card. Wow, the Empress. Beautiful. Got Four of Swords. Got a couple cards here. I'm going to take the top one. Beautiful. Page of Swords. Okay, Capricorn. I just see a very receptive, good attitude in this first half of September. There's a lot going on here expanse-wise. I do see a little bit of pensive energy. I see a little bit of proud sort of energy, deep sort of energy. There's a lot happening here. With the Empress right in the middle, always speaks to me of sort of embodying all the Venusian things in life. Maybe you're trying to aspire and how you're going to invite this sort of mentality to your life. how you're going to enable this. I do see manifestation with this card every time I look at it. And of course, the Venus symbol is here. But all of the things surrounding it, I think, are really enhancing it. You're coming from a position of a rather thorough approach. We have all of the energies going on here. So there's a Wands card here. We'll start here. So I think to start the month, you're in a pretty good mindset. I'm not sure what you're coming from, but I do see a good sense of optimism. Definitely speaks to accomplishment. Whatever you're coming into, maybe you've just celebrated some kind of success, something that you have maybe completed right, or maybe you're working on and it's going really well. I do see there's a lot of passion here as well with this card. Always forward motion too. So whatever is going on for you, Capricorn, at the beginning of the month, it is working. And I do see that it's working pretty well. You have a pretty good mindset here. And it seems to me that you do have, I always see the sort of people in the background in this card, sort of people kind of cheering you on right here. And I think that they're kind of enhancing your position and maybe your mentality, sort of your outlook and where you're going to go. I do see that you have a little bit of a plan, or at least celebrating some kind of success, or just good passionate energy is what I see. And the Queen of Cups, of course, is an extremely receptive person who is so connected to her feeling and all of the things around her that she weaves into her feeling. The feelings come back into her. It's just like the ebb and the tide of the ocean. It's such a beautiful energy. Her cup is the very biggest and most ornate in the deck. I do believe that it acts as a focus for her to sort of channel these very deep emotions into a place where she's able to take them in, receive them, and this water that flows from her cloak speaks to a sense of birth. It speaks to a sense of putting out something that reflects both her and what she's taken in at the same time, and it all becomes sort of one energy. It's a very watery, fluid force. It's a beautiful thing to watch, of course. The queen is extremely in touch with her emotions and all of the emotional energy that's around her. So I do see celebration sort of energy in a very receptive place. It doesn't seem to me like you're getting cocky at all, Capricorn. This is a very good attitude, because some people in this position might get to be a little bit cocky, or a little bit, just a little bit, I don't know, haughty to an extent. Some egotistical trip might become people in this situation. I really don't see that for you. This does speak to like a positive completion in a way, but I don't really see completion yet. I do see that whatever you're doing, you're kind of really taking it in and trying to integrate it into something that you're going to be giving forth, or at least channeling it in some way. The queen also, the energy I see with the Queen of Cups sometimes speaks to manifestation and a bit of a recycling sort of energy, and kind of taking the feeling around her and integrating it into a more fluid, receptive sort of thing, where it's a reflective energy, of course. And I do see a similar energy in the Empress. The Empress is always all about manifestation and all of the things that come with the Venusian lifestyle: love, beauty, sort of happy bounty. Some people see her as being pregnant, and there is bounty all around her. She's connected, of course, to what's above, all of the things above her, and she has a crown. So it does seem to me you're just in a good place, and I think you are trying maybe to take some kind of successful energy and manifest it into some kind of surrounding that you're really trying to build for yourself. It may be that you're trying to bring in some kind of new feeling, some kind of manifested sense of success, mixing with the things from your past, mixing with other things too, maybe even a vision for the future. So I do see that it's a very interesting, positive energy for you, Capricorn, I have to say. And the four, this is pensivity. I do see it as a pondersome moment. It may be that this is the time you're trying to really think about how you're going to combine these ideals, being receptive and being ready to manifest and the positivity that you've just gained. I do see what's coming to me now. There's a lot of learning type energy, and that does speak to some of the planets and what's going on for you right now. Of course, we'll talk about the page first. The page is allowing for freshness, is allowing for a little bit of expansion in a very visual way, in a visionary way, I should say. He's able to maintain space in a positive light. He's kind of like a scout. He sees ahead and feels his way into things, but it's coming from sort of an intellectual perspective rather than feeling. But he definitely is able. He's such a fresh, clean breath of fresh air. Sometimes I see him as that, and it always, this card is such a positive card as well. I just see a lot of optimism coming in Capricorn. I see there's a whole lot of hopeful energy, a lot of, and it's not coming from a place where it's just hot air and just vision. I do see you've got some success coming into this. You've got some experience coming into this. These aren't inexperienced cards. And you are in a very cognitive moment, I see. It's a very interesting sensibility about you. I have to say, Capricorn, it's a bit unique of a perspective. These are all experienced cards. The six has just had a victory of some sort. And he's walking forward with the experience of that. And the queen, of course, there's nothing inexperienced about her. She's such a natural intuitive. There's no, there aren't going to be anything that eludes her, because whatever comes in, it sort of becomes her. She understands everything. She feels everything. She's very connected in a pulsatile way, or I should say, a pulsating way. It's just all combining through her. So there's no way that there's going to be any kind of ulterior motive, anything like that. I do see just such a positive outlook. It's a beautifully positive optimism. And the Empress is in the same light. I do see you trying to bring things in. Whatever it is, you are trying to kind of be receptive. I do think you're being receptive here to enable expansion. Some people see this card as somebody who's on to his next victory, and conquest. Of course, I don't see violence and conquest in that manner for you, Capricorn. I just see a lot about expanding. So I do know also for you, um, expansion speaks pretty well, because for you, you have Jupiter in Cancer, which is, I believe, your seventh house. So that speaks to like personal relationships, business partnerships, a lot of very personal, personal things that talk about coming together and how you're going to build sort of a unity and how you're going to walk forward. I don't see other people here quite yet, except in the six. You may have a support system I'm seeing, and maybe in a little bit of fan base. This could be at your job, maybe in your family too. But I just see such a well-rounded perspective right now. I mean, there's such a good cognitive moment. You're enabling reflection and how you're going to enable this expansion. The Page of Swords kind of seeking ahead for you to see where your opportunities might lie. And it's a very good vantage point he has. Let's pull some more cards. Beautiful. Okay, Spirit, anything else for Capricorn? Couple. Okay. Start with the ones I see. We have the Devil. That's your card. The Ten of Swords. I have Three of Wands. I have the Chariot. And I'm going to put this one back because I didn't see that. The Death card. And I have the Eight of Cups. Beautiful. Beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about what we have here. The Devil energy coming up is all about, this is the one that I saw first. There does seem to be a bit of temptation is kind of what I'm seeing, and anytime we have this is an innocent energy. It's very possible that it's very possible that the page is sort of looking into everything is what I see. This is a very innocent scouting type energy, and it's a communicative energy. It's a kind of perspective for you where you're trying to see exactly how you're going to get to the next thing and what that next thing actually is. Um, there may be temptations coming up. That's kind of what I'm seeing, not in the Seven of Cups feeling kind of way, but a very real temptation to keep doing what you're doing. I really don't think that doing what you are doing is going to bring you to the next place. I see here there's a lot of motion. Okay, there's all kinds of motion. There's motion here, there's motion here, there's motion here, there's motion here. There's lots of more forward motion. To stay here in this devil, which I don't think is such a bad thing. I mean, this is your card. This is all about Capricorn energy, where it can be a little obstinate. It can have a challenge in moving on. It can kind of dig its feet in and not want to move. It's kind of obstinate, Capricorn. But that's not to say that you're always an obstinate person. It's just a characteristic that you can sometimes portray. And so it's important that when you consider things with energy this positive in the beginning of the month, the eclipse is coming here, okay? I do see a lot of the time with the eclipse in Pisces, it's all about feeling. It's all about um, emotional stirring up and recognition of things that need to end. And for you, that's in your third house. So this is talking about learning. So that can be attributed maybe to this card a little bit. So at the point of the eclipse coming up in the next few weeks, or in the next week, I should say, we have there's a bit of an evaluation on how you learn in the early stages of things, and how you are going to rely on what you have. I do see that a good portion of the way normally that Capricorn learns, of course, is a very practical. The sun is in Virgo at this point too, so it's a very practical time. But the South Node is also there. So it's talking about ways that you can kind of shine in to revise methodologies and learning for you and how you're going to develop your future plan. I do see that kind of being with this Page of Swords and the Four of Swords here as well. And now I do see, interestingly enough, the Capricorn card, there may be some kind of tendency for you, Capricorn, to just hesitate a little bit because you're trying to, being the way that you are with your feet firmly planted in most situations in a very practical way, there may be a little bit of a fear just to give in to this expansive ideology. I do see that it's possible for you, but the good news is I see the 10 of Swords coming right after. So I do see that whatever it is, maybe in this devil energy, just a little bit of a tempting energy, something that's tempting you to continue doing what you're doing. I think that whatever it is going away. And I think this speaks to you putting the devil, under the ground for a little while and just keeping it there, pinned down by the swords. I really think you're keeping it under wraps. That's a good way that I would put it. Because this is, of course, a total ending. This is an interesting time, Capricorn, because with the North Node in Pisces, with Saturn and the eclipse coming, the North Node is inviting things in for you, and it's a more feeling sense of learning rather than just digging in, and keeping on with this very practical, pragmatic ideology. It doesn't enable this expansion, but I do see you in this mindset. I see you trying to embody this. I don't see this being blocking for you, but I do see maybe what appears to be a little bit of fear. That's just what I'm getting. But I think that you, in this mindset, this optimistic mindset up here, the Queen being connected to the Ten of Swords, is sort of like deeply intuiting that you need to put this devil in his place, and you need to kind of keep your foot on him a little bit so he's not able to really affect you in the way that he can normally take hold, which for you it can be a bit of a weakness because there's a great amount of fear in transformation, of course, because Capricorn does like practical things, and it does tend to get attached just because it knows what works, what's effective. And like I said earlier, with the North Node in Pisces, there is sort of a karmic bringing in of things that need to change. And it's a transformative karmic sort of process. I do think whatever it is, it's kind of like a death to the old way so that you can welcome the new. And that's exactly what you're doing. There's no question to me now, because you are this Three of Wands is all about waiting for your ships to come in. This is all about having done a little bit of legwork and waiting for things to come. But sometimes it doesn't always come. It depends on what you did before. However, for you, up above here, wherever you're coming from at the beginning of September, there's no way you didn't do something that would enable you to allow things to come. You know, I do see Capricorn also, you have a tendency to kind of force work a little bit, something that you do. So you like to do your own, work. It's a polished process that you like to take pride in, of course. It's kind of a bailiwick of yours. Um, that's something that's very Capricorn energy. Is It's a practical, hardworking, very optimal function kind of sign. And the devil, I think, is a little bit of apprehension to change that. There may be a need coming up in your future where you're going to have to rely on a different modality of learning, or a different modality of just how you do things. It could be that your job is transitioning into something where you're kind of fix the budget, set it aside, but now it's more of a creative process, and you have to kind of take that bull by its horns. It's not always easy to navigate this sort of energy, but I do see this as a remarkably positive, adaptable change for you. I mean, I definitely adapt is a good word for you, because that's exactly what's happening. With this kind of positive flow in the beginning of the month, I don't see that you would have been lazy enough to not do some legwork to enable some kind of expansion. And like I said, with the manifesting and all of that, I do see a possibility for whatever you were inviting in here to manifest this Venusian, maybe the more fine things in life rather than just work. Maybe you're trying to take some time to enjoy rather than just slogging through. It may be that instead of just, the hard press calculator, you're kind of trying to think of a more beautiful expression, sort of something that you can feel into rather than just think, rather than just work. And because the Empress is inviting such a beautiful, bountiful Venusian energy for you, something that it doesn't just look pretty, it's beautiful, both on the inside and out. It's able to deliver for you something very real. Um, from a creative perspective, something that is like a culmination. I think of the Empress as like being able to birth the culmination of a blending of things. And there's no way I see that you would have been lazy enough to not allow some room or put some seeds in the ground here to enable these ships to come back to you. Somehow I think it's going to come back. I think maybe you needed to sort of put this devil in its place for now, just so that you're able to allow for something to come through, because that may not be the methodology that's going to work, that's going to bring you the things that you want, the goal that you have in mind, whatever that is here. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I think when you kind of accept, the Three of Wands does speak to a somewhat of a passionate acceptance of patience and the things, and just letting it be, just letting the things come to you rather than being so forceful like Capricorn likes to do. Capricorn's very hands-on, likes to take control. It likes to um, it likes to bring things in rather than let them come in. And the sun in Virgo at that point, is leaving here, and now the sun is coming into Libra. So I do see that since you are sort of offering this very optimistic invitation to what appears to be change, what's coming out with the sun in Libra is that balancing effect where the ships might come in, you will move forward. There's also transformation, of course. So with a little bit of patience. That's not to say the ships are here yet, Capricorn. That's not all here yet. Okay, I don't see that for you. We'll clarify all of these cards, but the Chariot, of course, is talking all about forward motion. It's all about mental control. And there's a lot of mental energy going on. This Four of Swords, very, very mental energy. It is like allowing the thoughts to come and just sitting with them for a little while. And it does speak to a sort of a method of meditation, and rather than a forceful just slogging through the things and making them happen. The Empress cannot be so forceful. There is a receptive element to that, and all of the things that come with childbirth. Of course, we don't have to talk about that, but there is a receptive component to this manifestation, because the Empress, it's all about taking things in so that you can birth something beautiful. And it's a very melding sort of integrative process. And this meditation, I think, is you really kind of sitting with what's been going on in your head and how you're going to enable this expansion to what you want it to be. And the Chariot is a mental forward motion. There's no reins on these two sphinxes down here, the light and the dark. There's such a connection, which I did see up here as well. There's a connection. There's wands, cups, swords. There's everything. There's no pentacles that I see, though, unfortunately for you, Capricorn. I know that you do like a pentacle. So it may be that that's kind of the goal. But I don't see that for you here. We'll clarify these cards. Again, clarifiers can change everything. But I do see the Chariot as being in remarkable control. There is a goal in mind. It's the star in his crown, or her crown, or whatever you'd like to call it. It's connected to a very stable foundation, however. It's a very stable card. Um, it doesn't really need to push or whip these creatures. They just bring them forward. And there's a lot behind as well. There's lots of things that are connected here. But it's all about motion forward. It's all about moving forward toward the goal, toward just beyond this all, beyond the past. It's forward motion. And the Death card is, of course, all about transformation. Now that I look at this, there's some really transformative major arcana going on here. There's a lot of manifestation. There's a lot of motion, a little bit of stuckness. Of course, the Capricorn energy there as well, which can be very obstinate when it really wants to be. The Death card is all about change, all about the death of the old and the beginning of the new. And the sun is here as well. There's forward motion here too. And this purity, it's coming from a very pure, I do believe this card always speaks to how karma manifests and how the dream is shaping it. Also here too, the sun is now in Libra, which is a bit of a different energy. Libra is a little bit different than Capricorn, but for you, that's your 10th house. Of course, at this point, the sun was all in Virgo, which is 9th house. That speaks to higher learning. It's almost like how you're evaluating the interchange between spiritual learning and pragmatic, practical sensibility. It's a difficult concept to understand. I do see this as really representative of a change in approach. It may be that you have a necessary change in approach, that you just don't foresee this old way is going to work for you. And so you're quickly adapting. It's really a wonderful response. But the Death card now with Libra, the sun in Libra at this part of September, that's your 10th house. That's all about career. So I do think that it's a very public place. So I think that you are kind of trying to lean into that career opportunity. Maybe you're seeing the pentacles coming in the future. But it's a very expansive place. And I do see that Libra is a very good place for that to be. It's all about balance. It's all about karma. It's all about the return of the work. It's all about how things are going to be harmonized, which I think the Empress is really sort of part of that energy. And so I do see you kind of really quickly adapting, moving right into it. It's not really taking you a long time. Of course, There might be a little bit of energy in the middle where you're just a little apprehensive, but we'll clarify all these cards and see. Now, the guiding card that I pulled for you was this card here. This card is all about moving past things that no longer serve you. It could be this old way. It could be that. Just feeling. The queen, of course, would know exactly what is not serving her. She won't be spending a lot of time, but she takes it all in and considers it. It really becomes part of the whole picture for her. But for you, it may be that the queen is clarifying with the sun in Virgo how you're going to leave certain modalities behind and certain things that you feel. There is also Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Things that are coming in a creative way aren't all going to be able to come in because Saturn is holding too much accountability. There's no way that all of the things, all of the change is going to come in. There's no way that all of that is going to become part of what you put out because it can't. Not everything is going to make sense for you to do, Capricorn. I just see this as you being sort of choosy in the things that you're allowing to satisfy you or work for you. I do see you walking toward a more a stable structure. And this, of course, we have here. There's a second eclipse in later on in September coming in Virgo as well. So it's a second new moon in Virgo. It's a very interesting concept. It speaks to like a a second try or a continued attempt. An extension of an expansive ideology that you might have had at some point. Very fascinating. Why don't we go ahead and pull a fantasy oracle? Spirit, can I have a fantasy oracle for Capricorn? Anything? We have the air. Unseen potential and hesitation, like we had here. So I do think this card fits so perfectly for you, Capricorn. It speaks to all of the potential. I even said optimistic potential up here, all of the things that you see could be. And it's not so much action, okay? This is, this devil energy speaks to how Capricorn behaves so much of the time. It's very action oriented. It's very practical. It likes to control the entire situation. It likes to budget things out to a T. I do see this as you being a little bit more pensive toward what else you can have rather than just this. It's not all about that all the time. Sometimes we need to adapt in how we consider our modality and learning and how we do our work. There's so much, especially with Jupiter and Cancer right now for you, Capricorn. There is a great deal of expansion coming, and it's in that very personal relationship. But I also see like partnerships, business partnerships, things like that. Of course, this could also be a relationship too. This could be speaking to all the relationships and how you've been. Maybe your relationship has to change in some way. That could be, I do see this more as how you're kind of going through just your thought processes. I know that seems a little bit um, insular, but definitely possible. I see a lot of this as being kind of in the undercurrent, maybe in your head, but I do see this as the hesitance. Of course, there's a little bit of that here in the devil, but I don't see you spending a very long time there. Of course, I do see you kind of quickly adapting because there's a recognition. There's a recognition of exactly what needs to go and how you're going to enable this expansion, maybe in some relationship sense. Professional relationships could also have to do with changing learning modalities, like we said with the third and the ninth house exchange. It's all about early education, higher education, how they play it together with the practical things, and how you're having to take on a little bit more of an intuitive perspective, Capricorn. Very good. And now I'm going to clarify all these things. Start with the Six of Wands. We have Spirit for the Six of Wands. couple cards. Take this one that flipped up, Knight of Swords. Couple cards here. I have the Four of Wands, or Four of Swords, I'm sorry, the Ten of Wands, and now to clarify this Queen of Cups, I have the Five of Pentacles. Now the Pentacles showed up in the Death card. Beautiful. The Queen of Cups, Spirit. Beautiful. I got the Queen of Swords as well. And now we will clarify the Empress. The Fool. Beautiful. The Hermit. Powerful major arcana right there. A couple cards there. We have the Six of Swords. And on the Four of Swords, I have the Seven of Pentacles. Now a lot of Pentacle energy coming now, of course. The Ten of Pentacles, beautiful. And I also have the Eight of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles there. And I see Pentacles being the goal. See, I knew that was coming. Okay, now Page of Swords, please, Spirit. Let's clarify that. Seven of Cups. A couple cards here. Beautiful. I have the World. And now the Devil, I have the High Priestess. I have the Queen of Wands. Oh, and I have the Devil again. Fascinating, Capricorn. Some people pull another card when they get that same. I think of it more as like a double down. And now I'll clarify this Ten of Swords. The Hanged Man. Okay. Three of Wands. Okay. I got the Two of Wands here. And now let's clarify this Three of Wands, Spirit. cards here. I have the Sun and the Ace of Wands. I have the Six of Pentacles. I've been getting this, the Sun in Libra has been bringing this Six of Pentacles in so many readings. It's just so fascinating to me how the cards seem to know when it's Libra season coming. And now let's clarify the Chariot, Spirit. No peeking. Okay, Chariot, Spirit. The Empress. Beautiful. Got the Nine of Cups. And Temperance. Wonderful. Now let's clarify the Death card, Spirit. I did get the Page of Wands. King of Cups. A lot of courts. My goodness. Okay. Ace of Swords. And now I'm going to attempt to clarify this guiding card, this Eight of Cups. Anything to clarify the Eight of Cups, Spirit, for Capricorn? A couple things. Let's see. Page of Cups and Judgment. Take one more pass through, Spirit. Anything to clarify the Eight of Wands guiding card for Capricorn for September? Anything else that they need to know? No. Beautiful. Okay, Capricorn. There is quite a bit happening here, of course. There's a lot going on, and I would love to see you in the comprehensive reading. I do get so many more answers in the comprehensive reading, and for you, I do see a lot of details. If you want to click the link in the description, you can get the comprehensive reading there. Just click on Capricorn at that point, and I hope to see you there. But if this doesn't resonate with you, there's no need for you to waste your time, of course. I can't possibly resonate with everybody. And don't force it to fit. It doesn't always. That's okay. And maybe you're just not in a place where you need to receive this sort of information. That's just fine, Capricorn. But if you do want to join the comprehensive, click the link below. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It always helps me. And comments are helpful too for constructive criticism. I like that. Just try and be nice if you can. So I will pause it here.